Welcome back to Dark Shadows Recap. In this video, we are breaking down a thought-provoking science fiction film called The Mandela Effect. Spoilers are coming up, so stay alert and enjoy the story. One day, a game designer named Brendan goes on a beach vacation with his wife, Claire, and their young daughter, Sam. The family spends a joyful day together, sharing smiles, playful moments, and plenty of laughter. As they relax by the shore, Sam decides to search for seashells and small snails along the beach. Before leaving, she assures her parents that she will stay away from the water. Claire allows her to go as long as she remains close enough for them to keep an eye on her. While Sam is carefully searching the sand, she fails to notice that a wave carries away her Curious George toy. She rushes toward it, hoping to grab it back, but the strong waves pull her away as well. Sam's tragic accident leaves Brendan and Claire completely heartbroken. Claire slowly tries to accept the painful loss, but Brendan cannot bring himself to let go because of the deep love he has for his daughter. While sorting through Sam's belongings, Brendan unexpectedly notices a children's book titled The Berenstain Bears. Something immediately feels wrong because he clearly remembers it being spelled the Berenstain Bears, using the letter E instead of letter A. Later that night, while everyone is asleep, an unusual noise suddenly comes from the kitchen. Brendan goes to check and discovers his brother-in-law searching the refrigerator for something to eat. Brendan offers him a slice of pizza, then casually asks about the title of the Berenstain Bears book. Matt confidently remembers the title as the Berenstain Bears, spelled with the letter E. Brendan then shows Matt the actual cover, revealing that it is written as the Berenstain Bears with the letter A. Curious about the strange difference, Brendan begins searching the internet. His search reveals that countless people also remember the title as the Berenstain Bears with the letter E. Brendan continues investigating until he eventually discovers an explanation known as the Mandela Effect theory. The following day, Brendan becomes puzzled after noticing a family photograph attached to the refrigerator. He asks Claire where the picture was taken, and she explains that it was captured in front of the Griffith Observatory. Brendan is completely certain that never happened because he clearly remembers taking that photo at the Pacific Science Center in Seattle instead. Claire pays little attention to his concern and simply tells him to leave since she is busy preparing food. Brendan later visits Matt and brings up the Mandela Effect theory again. Brendan believes he is personally experiencing the Mandela Effect, but Matt disagrees and insists that everything Brendan remembers is simply a false memory. Even so, Brendan refuses to accept that explanation and becomes convinced that he is actually living inside a parallel universe. He keeps researching these unusual ideas and eventually finds an online discussion suggesting that the Mandela Effect begins after an experiment involving CERN's Large Hadron Collider. According to the theory, the experiment takes place in 2008, and around that same period many people report strange experiences, including memories linked to the Mandela Effect. Still searching for answers, Brendan visits a priest named Isaac to better understand the existence of God. However, after listening to Isaac's perspective, Brendan remains unconvinced that God is responsible for creating the world around them. As Brendan's behavior becomes increasingly unusual, Claire gently reminds him not to remain trapped in memories of Sam. She hopes he can release the past and begin moving forward with his life. Brendan then asks Claire about the character featured on the Monopoly game. Claire firmly remembers the Monopoly mascot wearing a monocle over one eye. However, after checking carefully, they discover that the character has never worn one at all. Brendan also points out another strange detail by explaining that the monkey character Curious George actually has no tail. Yet the Curious George toy that belonged to Sam clearly has one. Brendan believes these details all connect directly to the Mandela Effect theory. He becomes convinced that Sam's passing belongs to another version of reality that somehow overlaps with the present one and changes what truly happened. Claire grows frustrated and deeply disappointed because Brendan becomes consumed by these unusual theories instead of focusing on healing. She feels that his obsession prevents both of them from moving forward. Even so, Brendan never abandons his belief that the Mandela Effect is real. He continues studying the theory in greater depth. His research leads him to the idea that the Mandela Effect happens when separate parallel universes begin overlapping with the reality where he currently lives. According to this concept, countless parallel universes exist, and each one contains a different version of the same life story. Brendan becomes convinced that Sam is still alive somewhere inside one of those alternate realities. During his investigation, he eventually discovers a scientist named Dr. Roland Fuchs, who also believes that the entire universe exists as a massive simulation. Brendan tries to meet Dr. Roland, but the scientist is too busy to see him. The following morning, Brendan returns, and this time they finally have a chance to discuss Roland's research. Dr. Roland explains that his findings suggest the universe functions as a giant computer simulation created for an unknown purpose. According to his theory, that simulation constantly generates countless new simulations every second, each containing a different version of reality. He further explains that the Mandela Effect Brendan experiences is actually a system error, where elements from separate simulations accidentally overlap with the current one. Those unexpected overlaps create inconsistencies throughout reality. After hearing Roland's explanation, Brendan reaches an incredible conclusion. If the world operates like a computer program, then rewriting its code could potentially restore everything and remove those system errors. However, Brendan quickly realizes that accomplishing something on that scale is impossible with a normal computer. Dr. Roland agrees, explaining that a standard machine with limited processing power could never alter a simulation as vast and complex as their universe. Dr. Roland then shows Brendan that he and his research team have successfully built the first quantum computer, which is stored at a university. Roland explains that there is a chance Brendan's program could actually run on that quantum computer. Brendan immediately begins searching for books about quantum computer programming and starts writing his own code. He also merges parts of his game development code with quantum programming, eventually creating a completely new script. The following day, Brendan is stunned when he sees Sam back at their home. At first, he assumes he is simply imagining things, but he eventually becomes convinced that his program has brought Sam back from a parallel reality. Without wasting a single moment, Brendan spends as much time as possible enjoying every moment with his daughter. Brendan feels overjoyed because he believes he has replaced the version of reality where Sam passes away with another parallel version. However, he soon begins noticing something unusual about Claire's behavior. He realizes that in this new version of reality, Sam is alive, but Claire has become an extremely stressed and emotionally exhausted woman. Brendan immediately rushes to find Dr. Roland, only to receive the shocking news that Roland passed away 2 months earlier. Brendan becomes convinced that the code he entered has created an enormous Mandela effect. After realizing that his program contains a serious error, he immediately starts writing another script designed to reinstall the universe. The purpose of the reinstallation is to restore reality so everything functions normally again without strange inconsistencies like the Mandela effect. Brendan hesitates because he fears the universe could disappear completely and never return. Even so, for the sake of both his wife and daughter, Brendan decides to travel to the facility housing the quantum computer and begins entering his new coding script. Brendan successfully launches the program, and the quantum computer immediately starts reacting. He quickly leaves the building, but outside he notices that every car in the parking lot has mysteriously vanished. While riding a bus, Brendan watches people begin flickering with strange visual distortions. He also notices nearby buildings showing the same unusual glitches. Brendan rushes home to find his family, only to discover that everything has fallen into chaos. He watches Claire begin glitching as well, while the surroundings gradually fade into darkness. In the final moments, Brendan witnesses 2 moons moving toward each other before the entire universe is swallowed by complete darkness. Moments later, Brendan's script suddenly activates once again, and reality begins rebuilding itself. Planets, microscopic life, viruses, sea creatures, humanity, and entire cities gradually return to their proper state. Everything is finally restored without any strange distortions, including every trace of the Mandela effect. The story then returns to the day Brendan, Claire, and Sam are enjoying their time at the beach. As Sam walks away to search for snails, Brendan gently calls her back and encourages her to leave behind the Curious George toy, which now no longer has a tail. As Sam continues looking for snails, Brendan carefully keeps his eyes on his daughter, making sure she remains safe. So, if you enjoyed this explanation, be sure to subscribe for more movie recaps. Turn on notifications, and leave a like to support the channel, and thank you for watching.